Welcome to the class Art of Selling, and my name is Hassan, and I'm the founder of Ascent Villa Graphics. I'm a graphic designer. With I work with brands. I work with international. Okay, I want you to off your camera so that just turn off your camera to save your data, please. So thank you very much. And I'm really glad to be teaching you this because it is what I've learned over the years. I'm a social media manager too. I manage people brands online, and I've done some selling of books, and I'm here to teach you. I'm here to talk about what it takes to sell. So moving on. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is what exactly I pasted on the particular group, the particular flyer, which was on the flyer, and which says psychology of selling, which can also be known as psychology of persuasion. Because one thing about selling is that you don't just say, you have to persuade them to buy from you. So that is one thing about the selling. You don't just put your product and just let it be like that. You have to persuade them with your write-up, with your content, with something catchy. And these are the things that I'll be talking about. But before I go into how to write attractive sales content, you have to basically, you have to basically understand psychology of selling, because one thing about human being buying something is about psychologically. It's about psychology. The impulse spending, the impulse buying, the attitude whereby someone go to shop online without even knowing how he or she able to spend even 100,000 without knowing. These are part of psychology. You get. So definitely the pattern is just simple. So I'll be explaining this step by step. So then next, the second outline, it says how to write. Second line says how to write attractive sales content. So I know many of you, I personally asked some questions, and some of you said you want to learn to say how to be able to get client to buy this and buy that. Yeah. The thing is that there are specific steps that it takes to get to that place, which you're going to be learning too. So because they're like principles. If you can able to follow the principles, you find that it will be easy for you to get this client to buy what you are selling. Either you sell physical product or render services. It's based on exactly how you're going to do it. And if I may shock you, I know many of you have heard about sales funnel and all kind of stuff. Yeah, there's what they call it. Had different type of sales funnel. It has the lead funnel, the event funnels, and they have the buyer funnel. So there are different type of funnels that you apply some particular steps to it to be able to get you what you want. Because you cannot use an event contents or some particular content in an event write-up for lead funnel, or probably for buyer funnel. So you have to be of different type. So moving to how to sell without selling. This is like a little bit tricky. Yeah, a little bit tricky. It's a principle, it's a techniques though, which we're talking about. So moving on, introduction. First of all, I've given my introduction, so I'm not going to say much about what I said. The reason why I'm bringing this to you is to enlighten each and every one of us about what it takes and how it takes, how the steps to say online, even to physical product too, because one thing we know that everything has gone digital, and so we don't basically have to be on physical ground or being physical before we're able to sell something. You can be an affiliator in many companies and all those stuff, because that's what is running nowadays. Being an affiliator to many brands, can able to sell other things. So the reason I'm bringing this to you in a platter of gold is that I want to enlighten, teach, I want to impact in my community, because the good thing I love doing is to teach. So I spent time, hours, weeks, to be able to research all this I'm giving you right now, so that I put them piece by piece, work on them little by little, to crack my brain to ensure that what I'm giving is not something that was copied, but something that was actually worked on, understood. You get worked on, and this is something that's practical. So I'll be talking more practical also too, so that you'll be able to relate with your particular business and relate to your particular or the job work you're doing. At the end of this particular session, I would love to, if you can jot down or jot down your question so you don't forget in case you have any question, and then you're able to let me know at the end of the class, because we're not going to spend much time. The reason why I do is that I know initially what was in flyer was a day class, but after going through all this and everything, I found that rushing this thing will not be knowledge passed. So there will not be any knowledge passed. So I'm going to make it 2 days class. So first I'm going to focus more on the psychology of selling or psychology of persuasion, which is today. Then tomorrow we'll continue the other part, which is the how to write a good content, and then the sales and sell without selling. So these are the parts that I need to inculcate into everybody. And so first I want to talk about the major part, which is that psychology, where everybody need to understand. And because if I rush it so much, you get so choked up. Because one thing about I know, a lengthy class becomes so boring, but a short class becomes so interesting. So better psychology. So if I'm going to give a lengthy class because I want to beat time, I'll end up just teaching you guys and you end up forgetting. So secondly, too, this particular video, this particular session is being recorded. So in case you want to go back to watch it, there'll be a video of this particular one. I'm talking to you right now, it's being recorded so that you have access to it to replay them and replay them just for your understanding. Okay, so let's move on to the class. Now, psychology of selling. Now this deals with the understanding of human response to things they want or things they don't want. Yeah, like I said, impulse buyer. People buy things based on what they want, or based on what they don't want. People tend to buy things because they feel like they need it or they don't need it. I remember my brother was saying one day, he said, if you want to know if you actually need something to buy, if you are in need of that thing to buy, give yourself 5 days distance of like from today to 5 days from now. If you can't forget that thing that you want to buy, you so eager want to buy, then you know that you need it. But if you know you can let go and you don't be bothered within yourself within that 5 days, you know that you don't need that thing. And it's true because I have tried it. It helps me to be able to reduce how I spend a lot of things. Of recent, I wanted to buy a Bluetooth speaker because the one that I have got bad, and I was so eager to do it. Why? Because and I felt like it's gonna help me when I'm playing music or when I'm playing when I want to watch a movie. Funny enough, I have an AirPod, but I feel like I want to speaker. Why? Because people around me are using Bluetooth speakers, so they tend to make noise. I feel like let me join the society. But after I sat down to check about what my brother said, I gave myself some distance gap and like, okay, let me see if I can able to if I need this thing. So I gave myself that distance and I found that I was not bothered. I even forgot about it until later. My neighbor was not playing loud music and like, oh, Bluetooth speaker, I actually need it. And I said, no, I don't need it again because I don't need it. I can survive without it. I can do without it. It's not something that is very important. So I have to put it down and focus more on my effort. So what I'm saying now is just that everything about we buying and selling is psychology. Psychology. So moving to the class. Now, in the year 1984, Robert Cialdini founded the principle after spending 3 years of going undercover, seeing and applying for jobs. Okay. Now, this guy is the founder of, he founded the principle of persuasion. It's a science, it's a scientist. So now, psychology of selling comprises of 6 principles, namely the reciprocity principle, the scarcity principle, the authority principle, the consistency principle, the liking principle, the consensus principle. Now, there's a seventh one, which was officially released, which is the unity principle. Now, I'm going to talk about it. Was not included on this particular list because these are the major 6, but that was just included of recent by Robert Cialdini too. So I'm going to talk about at the last part of it. Moving on moving on to reciprocity principle is just like it just like reciprocates a hell. That's what it means. Reciprocates. Okay, now reciprocity principle is like it says, e.g., when someone gives you something like money, okay, or item on your birthday or wedding, you become obligated to do the same to the person back. Okay, I don't know if you have experienced this, but many of you have actually, because just imagine on your birthday you got an unexpected gift by a friend, and the gift we give to something that actually interests you, and the next 2 months is person birthday, and the person told you, my birthday is next 2 months too. You have this obligation that let me do something for the person since he or she did this thing for me. Or perhaps on your wedding day, your brother or your sister or even your close buddy, your friend, bought you a gift on your wedding day, and then it was in turn on the person's birthday, the person's wedding, and you felt like let me buy something, at least let me buy something, if they know amount to what the person gave to me. That's the obligation. You are prompted to do it. Now, reciprocity can be in the form of service, nice behavior, or gifts. Okay. For example, for example, in my community here where I am right now, this particular person who always greets me, she says provisions and other things. She always greet me. Always like, hey, copper, you dey go, this and that. I'm like, ah. So we became I started to have a communication with her, like that talking. I found that she was trying to put me guide me based on the fact that I'm new in the environment and everything. And I grew this fondness to her. So every time and there's a lady close to her who also said almost similar thing. So the thing here is that if I want to buy from this lady, I'll feel obligated, like, I've known this person. Let me go and buy for this person because she has tend to give me information about the community that I never knew before. So I felt obligated to be able to attend to the person and provide and I mean buy from the person. The same thing happens to us too. Being at home, probably your sibling bought you something nice, like anything, like let me say when your sibling is coming from traveling or coming from school, just bought you something lovely. And the same time, the person will do that every time. It will come to a point in your mind, like, I did go, let me buy something for this, my brother, my sister. It happens to everybody. So these are the principles. When it comes to business, when it comes to business, when you say something for somebody, when you sell a product for somebody in business, I mean, I'm trying to bring it to our business world now because we're all business person. We have one thing is doing. When you bring it to business aspect now, when you sell something to somebody in a way that you communicate to the person often, how? For example, now there's a client I did a design for, and then for almost like a month or 2 months, I didn't hear for the person. So I chatted the person and was like, hey, how you doing? Is there any problem? I hope you're okay. I hope everything's okay. And the person was like, yeah, very fine. Next week I'm gonna bring a work for you because I have something to do. Now the thing is that my communication with the person before now actually created that reciprocity for the person to like love what I do. Because I didn't just really chat, just really do work. I chat with the person to ensure that I able to create that friendship. I give person good advice. I give person talk to the person, tell him what he to do also. So the person felt like he felt obligated to not to leave me. So these are psychology. You have to know how to tackle all these things. When you do good to your clients, I don't mean you're going to give you free material, no, or free stuff, no, but give them good advice that they never knew. Like for example, when I went to buy carpet, I think in January, I went to buy carpet and other things, bed and mattress and all those things. And this particular guy saw me. He actually knew that I was new to the town, so he just boycotted me, and then he took me to the shop and all the things. He showed me the two different measurements that they used to measure carpet. He showed me the tape, and I was fascinated. I was like, so these are the cheat people. Now there's a real tape that they used to measure, and there's a fake tape that is to measure. So if you're gonna buy with a good amount of money, they're gonna use the real tape for you. You're gonna buy with small money, like chicken, what they call chicken money, like it's low price. They have a fake tape they give you, and you will never know because you're not close to it. You cannot be seeing the calibrated number. You're not close to it. So these are different aspects which actually got me this interested. Like, and most time I want to buy, I want to go past the guy's shop because I now felt like I trust him. I feel like I trust the guy. I feel obligated to want to seek his service. That is how you do a business. So the next one is scarcity principle. Okay, scarcity principle. When you see a trendy item or services and an offer is given, but for a limited time. Now, this is scarcity. This I know many of you have seen this thing before online, where you say they'll say buy this, buy that, all these things and all these things is for a limited period of time. Now, these are persuasion. They're persuading you to buy. They're persuading you to buy it on time. Take action. Take action now. Now it says this create a sense of urgency. Okay, this creates a sense of urgency in our mind. making you question yourself to get it since you are in need of such knowledge or item. Now we mostly get that on some ad online, and it do drive minds, especially when it is cheap at the moment. Okay, now so you always hear something like this: first 5 or 10 persons to order now we get either free shipment or low price at a discount, and you get a quality stock, all these kind of things. Even to when it comes to an event, first 10 person who come will get a ticket for as low as $5, or perhaps it's $15. The truth here is that this thing creates a sense of urgency. The price was never $15. Okay, the price was never $15, though it just created a sense of urgency to you so that you're able to buy it. Because at the point you find that even the first 20% never get filled up. Okay, you never get filled up. You just keep on imagining yourself, how come? Am I that lucky to able to get that 20 be among the 20 or whatever number they put? So sometimes when they put such range of number, like first 20% to get these things, your mind will like, let me try to get into 20%, because if it's 5, you feel like it's too, it's too shortlisted. So if you're gonna make like 20 or 10 or even 25%, you find that you're trying to grasp yourself into that particular 20 numbers or persons, and you will find that you will end up becoming persuaded by using scarcity principle on you. So if you ever able to check on most buyers, yeah, they do that. Especially when it comes to products, when it comes to offering a webinar class, or attract you using a acquisition method. They will attract you using a gift and like, hey, come over here, I will give you free ebook and also these are steps using scarcity. There is capacity to be able to attract you, to bring you into the method of you buying, you being pricked to buy what they are selling. You get, okay? Understanding scarcity is very important, very, very important, because you can even use it on your particular products, even your ad, on your content writing. Well, because in the next session, all these will be put into practical, because you'll be seeing them in practical on the how to write a good sales content. You'll be seeing it live. You will not be flashing back. That's why I don't want to rush the whole process, so that you'll be able to get this one first today. Tomorrow you come refresh for the next class, which will be the last class, and you get it straight. Okay. And mind you, if I'm too fast, let me know so I can be able to come back and explain to you again. Okay. So keep your questions down, and when the class ends, we're able to ask questions. Now, authority principle. Now, this is one thing that it works, and keep working. Trust me, it keep working. Now, e.g., showing your client your degree of experience, or in other words, portfolio. It creates a sense of value on your path, whereby their rating of you will change, and they might come to agreement with your pricing. Okay. Now, so the first thing you do before discussing price is send in your portfolio. Every client wants to see the workings of of the person they are hiring, and by so doing, you are creating an authority in their mind. Okay, first of all, how many of you have ever tried this method, whereby, or probably have seen this thing anyway? You walk into a pharmacist building, or a chemist, and they look at the wall, they put their sense license, blah, 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 endorsed by pharmacies association and all that stuff, and then you find that you are at ease. Or probably you go to a big chemist or a supermarket, or a pharmacist, rather a pharmacy, and then you get there and you see the big the placard of their award and those things. You find that you have this trust. No matter how much they are taking their drug is, you have each other, they know they're professionals. Or probably you are a designer, or you are a designer. When I mean a designer, I mean probably a graphic designer, or video designer, or even UI designer, or even a photo editor. Now, when you are showing your clients, when your client comes to you and you show them your portfolio before you start pricing, I'm telling you, they're gonna have, and your portfolio make a lot of sense. They're gonna have this good perceiving about you. They're not gonna have issue when you give them price. They're gonna be like, okay, oh well, but I can't pay you right now because the money is too high. Not that they're like, I've never seen you okay for you. Give me this kind of huge price. You get their tone in addressing you will change compared to when they have any proof. When you do not have any proof to show that you can do the work. You get, so authority principle, it works in terms of like, it kind of creates authority in their mind, and that you are the best. It kind of give them this sense of like, this guy is good, especially when they're seeing you, like, wow, wow. You are buying their mind. They are buying into exactly what you're selling. So using the authority on them, give them a portfolio, give them what you do, what you've done. I know when it comes to clothing and all those stuff, like when you're selling items, yeah, you can also use it too. It's also known as testimonial. You send your testimony to your client. Let your client see all these things, what people have testify about what you say. And trust me, you're gonna create this sense like you are genuine. You're not a fake person. You get, that's why most time when you go online, you see people put personal that testimonial about what they have done or what people have testified or what they are doing. Okay, so now moving on to the next one, which is the consistency principle. Okay, this actually took me a lot of time to dissect because it's not an easy aspect when it comes to explaining it. So now this is the best definition I can give for it. Okay, e.g., give you someone to write his or her own schedule, timing for an appointment with the doctor, create a sense of responsibility and then consistency. Okay, for example, let me make it more simpler for you. For example, you are being asked to write, you're being given the opportunity to write your timetable for class, right? Let me say, I know many of us were or are students, and then your course advisor said, I want you all to plan your timetable yourself, and you guys come as a group of class, and then plan all the timetable and all those things. You find that the people who plan this thing very well will not will not hesitate to say they want to miss the class. How? Because if they miss the class, they know that they boycott themselves in a way. If they miss the classes, or probably the students, or probably, let me make it more simpler. A personal lecture with the lecturer and everything, and then the student, the group of students, which is like 4 or 5, they plan this timetable themselves, and then they give lecturer, and they did not come based on the fact that probably something came out and stuff. You find that they will feel so guilty compared to when it was the lecturer that planned the timetable for them. You get what I'm saying? So, okay, they're gonna feel so because now they actually use their own hands to plan the timetable, and they end up not still coming. So they're gonna feel so ashamed and not and not happy about it. Okay, now the same thing happened to business. Okay, now applying it to business, making is a client commit to you, giving them discounts for every referrals, such like an ambassador to a brand, or like what Oriflame does. Okay, now let me make it more simpler. When you log into, let me see, you join a group, an online platform, where they say this, or they make money, and they say, um if you refer someone to us, we'll give you 1,000 free worth of money, or free worth of airtime, and then you'll be like, wow, good, that's good. At least I'm earning something small by small, little by little. And then you are there fishing, looking for men, looking for people to fish like a fisherman. It is that it's very, very okay if you are doing that, but they're actually using you to get what they want. How? What you are doing is an ambassador for them. Okay, and I know how much they pay people who stand for a product, or who are ambassador to a product. They use some of money, but to you they are giving you peanuts to get one person when you're supposed to be getting more money. So they're using you as using the referral process to get more money. So they're making you be consistent in a way that you are consistent in becoming the ambassador, advertising their product to people just for 1,000 per person. Okay, and which would like that you're going to take time. But now, even to Oriflame, now what Oriflame does is that I know many of you have seen most of your some of us might have friends who are into this Oriflame product selling and all things. I find that the Oriflame lodge them in a hotel, give them breakfast that is mind blowing and everything. Um, you find that the person, the management, or the managers who they are hosting, they are so well into it more because they are being treated nice to become an ambassador for, yeah, they give them a lot of money, yeah, good. So either you're working ambassador for a higher money, or working for as an ambassador for a lower money, all comes as a choice. Like for example, now this particular friend I know, oh, she sells the Olympian polo, and then she always posts the treatment Oriflame will give you there. Just imagine somebody who is just starting Oriflame product selling, and then he or she just made some few sales to others, and the Oriflame just text the person like, you are being invited to an all paid expensive trip, full breakfast, lodging, everything is already ready for you. And all the person all did just carry here or bag and go there. And the person person coming back after 1 week later, I'm telling you, the person gonna have a change mindset, and the person will fire more energy into it. So the person can climb higher. That is it. Now, the more people they're having, the more referrals they're getting, the more they are getting more sales. So all this is as a consistency. You get, because you cannot make a client talk about you when you are not giving the client in return, at least something in return, what they will benefit. So you make them be consistent. Okay, the same thing applies to politics too. Let me just say something about politics too in this aspect. Okay, now sometime ago, in USA, they will call some certain person or numbers on the phone when it's close to an election period, and they will like, hey, this is this and that, we are from George Bush or whatever party they're coming from, and like we want you to want to we want sorry about that, we want to affirm your vote. I believe you'll be voting for social person and everything, like, and yeah, well, I'm voting for the person. The reason why is like that because the contact was not gotten from out of the blues. It was gotten from people who actually were strong devotees of that particular party. So they're gonna affirm their voting spirit, their voting ability for the same party. So in that process, before the party election and everything start, and the campaign and everything, they have also benefited from the party. You get, so these are things that made them be consistent. You don't just jump into the blue and say, come on, patient my business, and then they do the patient the business, and you not give that at least give them a takeaway, or tell them something like, we also do referral process. You can able to refer like 5 or 3 persons, you get what of this goes, or you get what of money. I'm telling you, the person will do that for you. Now, these are principles, they are psychology, they are persuasion. You're persuading them to get you that client. There are various ways to have a broader reach. There are various ways to reach many clients. You just have to think which one work best for your business. Think which one work best for you. Okay. So now, let's like I said about the ambassador stuff and the brand of like ambassador of it to a brand or Oriflame. You can also look at all these principles and just use it to apply to something that will help you. Okay. Now, liking principle. The liking principle, there are three important factors. Now we have number one, it says we like people who are similar to us in our career or dream. True. Because for me, if you check my Instagram page, it's all about graphic designers, video editors, photo editors. Even I only have a few comedy skills just to make me laugh, because sometimes you have to enjoy yourself. Okay, you cannot be having a moody attitude every time. So we tend to follow those who actually stand for our dream and who actually speak for us, who actually are our person. Now it says, so we like people who are similar to us in our career or dream. Now, number two says we like people who complement us. Okay, for example, now we tend to look at people who say, you're looking nice almost every time. You're looking good, you're looking that, and we'll feel appreciated, and we'll feel appreciated, we tend to like them a little, like, hey, hi, all this kind of stuff. So these are things, these are principles. So it works. It works. Okay, now the third one is say we like people who cooperate with us to achieve a common goal. What such common goal are, money wise, profiting wise, or win-win. Okay, for example, uh, uh, I render services. Okay, I'm a designer, like I said. I render services, and then probably I meet a client who gave me a job. I did a job, and the client did not give me. Do not stress me at all. All he just did is that he agreed to the price I gave him. He made a few corrections to the work, and that was it all, and I was done. Trust me, I'm going to like such clients. I'm going to keep praying for such clients, because nobody wants to be stressed while working. You get, so the same thing happens when you are selling things too. For example, your client, you deliver a goods to a client, and your kind of priority is payment at delivery, and then your client did not pay after delivery. Says that it start making give excuse and come excuse. You're gonna feel bad. But imagine your client, you tell your client your priority is pay at delivery or pay before delivery, and your client no bother. You didn't make any move or say want to price or complain about your pricing. You just deposit money straight without even paying half. You just pay full money. And trust me, you're gonna want to work with such clients because that's what you like. Especially when you're selling clothes or selling all those products online. So these are how the principle work. Okay. Now, like I was saying, a consensus principle. Now, this is exactly what I said. The rate at which people are convinced after seeing pictures or write-up of testimonials of others is second to none. I know. We have this particular experience now. People will look to the actions of others to determine their own decision, e.g., reviews from App Store or Play Store. Okay, now before we always have these experiences when we want to download software online, but we always want to search for reviews because there are so many content, so many videos or apps online that are so not so interesting that will just burn your data for no reason and you end up deleting it. So what we do, we'll go for referral, positive and negative. Know the kind of number of positive reports and negative reports. I said we know that, oh, this particular app is good, especially when it's a new app or probably not something new to you. Okay, the same thing happens to when it comes to business. People tend to patronize you based on referrals. How many of you have seen on WhatsApp or probably on WhatsApp status where you will see some status and you see some person putting a product, and the next slide you'll be seeing is referrals of that particular product. You see the testimonials of that particular product, which they have made sales of, or probably sometimes those particular pictures they're using as testimonial referrals, or probably you see pictures of people sending in money, all kind of money and money into the person screenshot his account, everything, and all kind of stuff. It's true that sometimes those pictures are not real. They are got it from somewhere else, and that make it put it to you that, oh, it's working, it's working. People, because you want to do it. Why? Because you feel like people are already doing it. You're not having this consensus, because this agreement mindset, because consensus means agreement. Now you're not having this agreement mindset that, oh, these people are already doing it. That means that this person is trusted, this person is trustworthy, or this particular app is trustworthy, this particular software is trustworthy. Okay, these are principles that they use. So people tend to use these things to get people to able to click in. Okay, now they use testimonial of like, your product was nice. I love your cream. Your cream changed my face in 5 days. All the kind of testimonial matter and everything. People love it. People like, so this person is genuine. This person have used it. This person is doing this and that with the product. So we are being persuaded to agree to use that product or buy that product or use that services using this consensus principle. Okay, I don't know if you understand, but I just want to understand. Take the example I gave you. Just the way it applies to this place, it also applies to you as a human being, because you want to buy something based on what people have given referrals to, or based on what people have talked about that it's working. Because you don't want to buy a cream. If I cream, there's a cosmetologist or dermatologist, you don't want to buy a cream that is not working, that you don't know if it's working, unless you see reports of people testimonial or faces of people where it was the before and after. You find that you're persuaded to buy these things. You get so that is how this particular principle work. So moving on to the seventh one, which I said was which was later added by uh, Robert Cialdini. He says this is a cheap in principle, which Robert Cialdini said later on, that telling people you are one of them or you understand what they are passing through bring ease to their mind in dealing conflict or getting their attention to commit. Okay, now people tend to how to put the word, tend to be at ease when they find out you are one of them. For example, now someone is doing a donation in school for a person who has cancer or who's in hospitalized and all kinds of stuff. You find that they'll always say this person is our person, is our from our class, from our school, and all those things. So you feel so, this person is my student too, this person is part of me. Oh. let me do something, let me try to see, let me do something to help. Then you find that you're not uploading such flyer or about the person on your status so that you can reach other people, right? So you not feel this emotional attachment. You're not getting, they are making you to commit to what they are doing. Either you contribute money or you upload the flyer to get to reach the people who can provide the money. That is how it works. So these are part of all these are says they are all principles, they are all method which is needed. So you can see how I just give those examples. They are very that what exactly is working, and people are using it to able to get people to commit into buying or into getting their services or coming back for more. Okay, that's how no matter how you are working, your designer, your sales, but always keep your referrals. I mean, keep your testimonials write up or pictures, very important, and ask for reviews. Ask for customer reviews after they use your product. Always ask for them because they're going to help you to be able to persuade the next client that are coming to your way. They're going to persuade the next customer that coming your way. So you just have to always be punctual, learn to speak politely to your clients. Trust me. You see that liking principle, it works a lot. Now, when you compliment people about what they do, like for example, now I was watching a video, and this is a very high material video. So it says how to get clients exactly from top notch, like for example, YouTube CEO. Now you can use LinkedIn. Now when you use LinkedIn, you connect with them. How you didn't just talk to them and say I'm a this and that and that and that. No, you create communication, you create connection with them. Let them connect with you in a way that you don't just start bringing yourself. You compliment them. Okay, they take that they can like you. Tell them, wow, I love the work you'll be doing. And trust me, your new platform you just introduced actually helped me to understand this and that, about life, about situation, about in my sphere of work. And I must say you are doing a fantastic job. I know many YouTube it has helped, and I'm here to thank you for what you're doing. I would love if we can connect. And trust me, when you praise the person is going to comment and like, wow, thank you very much. I really appreciate we're doing more better work, or we're doing if you see that the person relax the response to you, compared to just imagine compared to when you are saying, my name is this and that, I'm here to I saw your ad, I saw your flyer, I saw your flyer, I saw your flyer. Please hold on, I'm coming. Sorry guys, I'm just about that. So how do you quick emergency? So now, so where I was, okay, I was talking about the YouTube stuff and all. So imagine I use this kind of talk to the woman like, hey, my name is Adad. I saw I'm a this and that, I'm a graphic designer. I sell this product. I want to let you know that if in case you need this thing, I'm always at the service. I can work with for any hour of time, cheaper. The person will be like, well, I already have team that are working for me, so I don't have any need of you. You get compared to when you create a liking, the person liking you, and then the person, if somebody like you on social media, he or she gonna likely check out what you do. Trust me, you're gonna check out what you do on your profile. You wanna see what you do. Be like, okay, you're a designer or you are this and that. That means that you have some knowledge and check out your work. You will check out your gonna click on your link to see what you're doing. You get this is how it works. So there are ways that you're able to chat with a prospect and a customer. You get you chat with a prospect and a customer. There's a different ways. Okay, so when you're able to apply these principles to this client or prospect, you find that it's gonna work out for you. I know many of you have worked do something trying to just crack that thing from your head, because trust me, the next particular phase of the class, which is tomorrow, is something that you don't want to miss, because I will be taking you from step to step to step on how to write content for sales, either for event, either for to make to buy for buyers, or even for to create lead for your email marketing, social media, all those things. There are things that there are steps and steps that you will take. So the reason why I didn't want to rush it because trust me now, this is almost like it's 8:50. I was at 8 o'clock. So just imagine I rush the class up to 9 o'clock or 10. You find that some people be leaving or sleepy because I didn't know we had a stressful day. So I don't want to rush us to be able to make the class look so stuck. Okay. So I want to stop here. So if you have any question, please just ask me or ask in the group chat. We'll like able to address it for everybody to see. But if you can say it, no problem. I appreciate that. So if there's any question, please just say it up and let me know. I'll be glad to attend to that. You can speak up, please, if you have any question. Hello, can you hear me? Did you hear what I said? If you have any question, you can speak up concerning what I've said, or probably you didn't understand anything of what I said, or a particular part you didn't understand. I can just quickly breeze through it and give clarity to what I said before. So you can let me know, please. Okay, it seems everybody understand what I said. Okay, so no further questions. Let you know that tomorrow class, please do not miss it a minute, because I'll be talking more about this particular one I told you. Now, this particular one, how to write attractive sales content, which is something that I know many of you actually seek for. That is why I'm taking my step, not to rush the class, taking it step by step so that I can be able to teach you the psychology of selling or psychology of persuasion, how people persuade you to buy what they are selling, how people trick you to be able to act on their behalf, how people be able to make you think that you are doing your best for yourself when they are actually making it best for them. So these are the psychology that you actually need to understand, because if you're able to understand these parts, you can do better. So since no much questions, since no any question, thank you so much.